Back live. I can finish with my story now. I'm gonna wait for a few people to get up in here, and I continue on with my little story. As y'all can see, we're on this Buffalo Rock. Shout out to Buffalo Rock Company for making this fantastic ginger, whatever you want to call it. They say it's supposed to open you up, but I don't know, man. My granny used to always have them in the refrigerator, so it was just the first drink I'd always go to. So I love them. So, Buffalo Rock, shout out to y'all. We get a few more people in here. I'll finish up my story that I was telling y'all about that time I almost got arrested and possibly kicked out the Navy. Hey, what up, what up, what up? What's that say? Trust Miller, what's popping, what's popping? I see we got a couple more people in the live, so we'll give it about another 2 or 3 more minutes, and then I'll shoot the rest on the ship. On top of that, could have got detained, and then they arrested me pretty much right after. So I'm gonna finish that story up, and let's show you that God be on your side, and when He got a plan for you, He just got a plan for you. So I'm gonna wait, like I said, another 2 minutes or so. We'll get some people into this live, and then I'll go ahead and finish on with the story. And anybody who was in the live a little bit earlier, I know you probably remember me saying that I was gonna tell the story once I got back alive. But we done right now with all of the runs that I had to make, all of the clients that I had to pick up. Head back home. Y'all see, got the beard looking tough. I'm gonna go home, shave my head, get together. We got some people coming over for the little baby girl for the party. Well, it ain't even a party, it's like a kickback. So she turning 3, but she having a solid kickback at the crib. Watch the game a little bit later. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna drink on. I'm trying to figure out if I want to go and get some tequila or if I want to go and get some brown. So I'm thinking about getting some tequila though. That Don Julio. Don Julio is the best, absolute best. It's a little more on the pricier side, but you can't beat Don Julio. I think that's pretty much my base level when it comes to tequila. I know a lot of people like the Casamigos, but it's that Don Julio that does it. What you say? What up, man? Big love from India. Big love, for sure. That's way across the pond. I ain't never been there, but I wouldn't mind going though. I used to go to this one Indian restaurant when I lived in Virginia called Rajput, and food was fantastic up in there. I used to go every Sunday after church, faithfully, with the butter chicken and the naan and the basmati rice. Man, it was fire. That's all I can say. Absolute fire. So yeah, shout out to India for that good food and them good spices that y'all be working with over there. For real. All right, so 3 minutes in. Let me see. What up? I'll give it about another minute or two, and then I'll give y'all the story about what happened to me when I was in the Navy and how I almost got detained and possibly could have got arrested. And it was a random day, honestly, on top of that. It had nothing to do with me. But my screen looked froze. Let me see if I can do something, change it. All right, that's better. I think it was because somebody had called me that kind of froze my screen up, but let me see. We're going about three and a half minutes. I'm gonna give it about another minute and a half, and then I'll finish up with my story on how I almost got kicked out of the Navy and possibly arrested on base. It would have been a bad day for me. It would have been a bad day for my future family if I would have had one. It would have been a bad day for me. I would have pretty much lost all of my benefits. I would probably would have got an other than honorable discharge. I don't think I would have got a big chicken dinner, which we would consider a bad conduct discharge. I think I probably would have just ended up with an other than honorable, lost all of my benefits, and then that pretty much would have been it. They probably would have sent me to the brig, put me on restriction, and then I probably would have ended up getting kicked out like directly after my restriction time. I would have tried to fight it, but they probably would have kicked me out. Let's see what you're talking about. Hey man, I ain't naturally bald. As y'all can see, man, I got all my hair up here. I just don't be feeling like shaving. I be working so much, I get so lazy and just complacent from work and just being so tired. I just be like, man, bump that. I don't feel like cleaning up all of the hair or whatever. But we got a few people in the building right now. We got 3 people in the live from what I see. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish with the story. So I was working on cranking. As a matter of fact, we was talking about that earlier about the whole cranking thing. It's pretty much like you doing your time as a sailor to kind of like help with, working in the galley, working on the mess decks, working in the cargo department, whatever the case may be. What up, dog? Who is that, Mike? What up, Mike? So yeah, I'm on the ship. I'm working night shift. It's barely anything going on because we in Portsmouth, so we in a shipyard. So I'm working night shift. I'm not standing duty. So when it's time to get off work, I just get off work and I'm done for the night. So when I'm getting off and I'm in my berth and getting ready to go, I'm packing up my bag. I'm finna get ready to hit the street. I don't even know where I was going, but I know I had my bag packed. And next thing I know, I'm getting ready to get off, and they talking about they having a command sweep. So I'm thinking the command sweep, like we might have another urinalysis or something like that. But one of the people that were on restriction got caught with, I think, with liquor in his bag. So they basically shut the ship down and was going to check through everybody's bags and all that. So pretty much everybody was under arrest in a sense, not in a bad way, but they just had the ship under arrest and couldn't nobody go in or out. So I get in my berthing. Everybody who works in my department that sleeps in my berthing, everybody just getting to work, so they getting ready to start their day. My day is over with. So as they're coming in, I'm leaving out. So when I heard that they were having a command sweep, I was like, okay, they locked the berthing down. I mean, they locked the ship down, but I'm like, I'm still finna try to get up out of here. Maybe I can make it to the mess decks, make it through the mess decks and up to the catwalk in time, and they'll go ahead and let me off since I work third shift. So I get my stuff together. I'm in my berthing. I head to the top of the ladder well, and as soon as I get to the top of the ladder well, who meets me at the top of the ladder well? K9 unit, a master chief, another chief, and like 3 more security personnel, which were master at arms. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm finna go, so I'm not really worried about them. And they were like, where you heading? I'm like, well, I work third shift, so I work night shift, I'm cranking, so I'm off. And they was like, yeah, he work on the mess decks, so he can go. So I'm like, all right, bet. So they were like, all right, the master chief told me just put your bag down so that the dog could smell it, because they had I think it was a German Shepherd out there. It was like, let the dog smell your bag, and then you can go ahead and go. So I'm like, all right, bet. I wasn't tripping about that. So I get my bag, put it on the ground. No, as a matter of fact, they took my bag and put it on the ground for me. I stood away to let the dog go over there to get to the bag. When the dog gets to the bag, the dog started scratching on the bag. Instantly, I'm like, I'm screwed. Why did I feel like I was screwed? It's because I had about an ounce of weed in my bag the day before. Now, I didn't think that, I knew that I left the bag, I knew that I left the ounce of weed in the car. But when the dog searched the bag and started smelling and scratching on it, I thought that maybe I had forgot to take the weed out of the car, out of my backpack, and that it was still in my bag the whole time, since I kept it up in the front of the bag in that little front zipper section. So I'm like, oh man, I'm screwed. I left the weed in there. So they was like, the dog smelling the bag like it's something in it. So they pulled the dog back and they was like, let him go sniff it again. So they sniffed the bag. The dog sniffs the bag, and the dog still scratching and sit down again. So they was like, open the bag up and just put everything that's on the bag on the floor. And the guy asked me like, what you got in your bag? I was like, nothing, just a pair of jeans, some shirts and stuff like that, nothing major. I still had my work uniform on. I still had my, my blue, like if you remember in the Navy, we used to have the blue button-down shirts. I forget what we used to call utility shirts. So we used to have the utility shirts and the utility pants. So I still had my gear on. Hell, I still even had my hard hat on because we was in the industrial unit. So they empty out my stuff on the ground, and the dog goes to sniffing at the bag again. So the guy looks in the bag and was like, the dog must be tripping, because when he opened up the bag and put all of my stuff on the floor, it wasn't nothing in the bag. He opened up all of the zippers, but he never really like got down on the floor and looked in the bag. He just pretty much like just held it up by the bottom and just kind of like shook it out like that to make sure that didn't fall out of it. So I'm sweating bullets at this point, because I'm thinking like, once he opened up this bag and he started shaking it, this sack go fall like right on the ground, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be screwed. So the dog goes to sniff the bag again, sits down. The master chief was like, the dog must be bugging or something. They was like, you got to get it together. So they was like, all right, grab your stuff and you can roll. So I'm like, all right, bet. So who's that? Hey, what up, Randall? My guy Randall P. What's popping, man? You always up in here. What's popping? So the dog smells the bag. They picked the bag up, told me I can get my bag and put my stuff in there. So like I said, I'm sweating bullets at this point. I'm surprised that my utility shirt didn't start to get black from all of the sweat that I had running down my chest at that moment in time. I'm talking about every hair on my arm is standing up. Every hair on my leg and back is standing up. I'm talking about I'm just bugging at this point. So I get my bag up. I'm putting my stuff in the bag, but I'm putting it in the bag like they trying to play me, like they finna just up and just say like, nah, you under arrest. Give us that bag, whoop whoop. So ain't nobody saying stuff, they turning around, they talking amongst each other. So I'm grabbing my bag. I'm hurrying and scrambling to get all my stuff together. So I'm stuffing it in the bag, everything pressed, whatever. So we get out to the main hangar bay after going up the ladder well. I look inside the bag because I'm like, how did they not find the weed? I'm just knowing the weed in the bag. What happened was I had an ounce in my backpack, but it was the summertime. So when I used to ride around, I used to keep it in my backpack, but I would keep my backpack in the trunk. So it was so hot in the summertime that I guess the smell had gotten so potent inside of the bag that it was still stuck in there lingering like heavy. So when I'm looking in the bag trying to see if I left anything in there, I'm actually surprised that they didn't smell it, because when I opened up the bag, all I smell is reefer, like all through the bag, like all in it. It's one thing when you smell cigarettes and Black and Milds, but it's another thing when you smell good reefer. And I'm talking about this bud was so good. I'm talking about I couldn't even drive straight. It was so good. And yeah, so I'm like, oh man, I'm so thankful that they didn't pick up the bag and smell inside the bag, because they probably would have said, this marijuana been in this bag. We finna test it, or we finna look for whatever, or let's go to your car since you parked outside. Now I would have had to lie and be like, I don't got no car or whatever. They probably like, you got keys in your pocket, this and that. You stay on the ship, so clearly you got a car. But yeah, I thought it was over with. Now had they had told me to go to my car, I would have been screwed, because like I said, I had a whole ounce of bud sitting in the trunk of my car. So yeah, I would have been done for. But it was at that day that I was kind of like, I'm done with drugs, or quote unquote weed, in the military. Like I was done. As a matter of fact, that same ounce that I had somebody working on my Impala, and when I went to the shop to get it to get something fixed on it, the guy was smoking when I got there, so I knew he smoked. So I was like, yo, you want an ounce? He was like, yeah. So I was like, yo, just do the work for me and I just give you the bud instead of the cash. And he was like, bet. So I got rid of that ounce like instantly. I ain't never wanted to get some drugs out of my hand, out of my pocket faster than that day. But I gave it to him, and that was the last time I ever touched anything while I was in the Navy. After that, I ain't messed with nothing. That was kind of like my scared straight moment. And I kind of felt bad, because I was like, I played myself, because I was finna trick myself out off my spot behind doing something stupid like trying to smoke. But fast forward to tell that story, I know so many people that done got kicked out of the Navy because of drugs. Cocaine, weed, pills, all of it. I'd have seen them all get kicked out because of all of it. So when that happened to me, I'm kind of like glad that I was able to make it through it. But it helped me to keep like a better eye on like what I was doing, and realizing a lot of people be screwing themselves. Let me see, view message. Old State, baby, Old State, stand up. Let me see, what they say? Tell them on the hose. Show that. Yeah. So yeah, man, Old State, stand up, man. Ohio, stand up, man. 216, stand up. 330, man, stand up in the building, for sure. But yeah, that was my story, man. That was my story. Almost getting caught up with weed in the Navy and possibly getting arrested, or possibly getting kicked out and losing all of my benefits and my career and all that, all behind something stupid. So, and what's crazy is the same dude that I bought the bud with, when we went and bought it, that was the same dude that stole some money out of my car, because I thought we was cool. Dude from DC, and that ain't knocking nobody from DC, but he was from DC, and he was supposed to have been taking a bus or a train home like early in the morning one day when we had got to the shipyard. So he asked if he could just stay in my car. So I'm like, yeah, you could just stay in the car, just lock the doors when you when you leave, because he didn't want to come on the ship, because it was a long way. I ain't gonna lie, it was probably like a half a mile walk. Nah, I'd say about a quarter of a mile walk to get from the parking lot to the ship. And it was winter time, so it was like maybe 20 degrees, 15 at night. And we was off of the coast, so the wind is blowing like crazy. So I knew when I got to, I got into my bird and I was going to sleep. I wasn't going nowhere. So when he asked me like, yo, can I stay in your whip? Once we got back that night, he was going to be leaving in like 4 hours. And I was like, cool, that's fine. You ain't got to worry about walking on the ship. You can sleep in the whip and just lock the doors when you leave. So I go into the ship, come back out the next day. He gone, of course. I'm in the car. I'm going somewhere. I reach in my glove box and I had maybe $200 or something like that in 20. So I'm counting through the money because I'm about to, I don't know if I was finna go buy some shoes or what I was finna go do, but I was just checking to make sure I had enough. And as I'm counting the money, I'm like, hold up, I'm short some bread. So I'm flipping through the money again. I'm flipping through the money like Smokey when Big Worm was in the when Big Worm was in the ice cream truck, and he told him, I guess he's supposed to have $200 for him. So he counts out the money, then he like flips it over and then like start counting it again and then like crumble it up like that. That's how I was when I was counting the money after I thought about what might have happened. And I'm like, ain't no way homie stole his bread out of my car. So I end up calling him or texting him or something like that, like later that day. And I'm like, yo, did you take some money out of my car? And he was like, yeah, man, I had needed some money for woo. So, of course, after that moment, we never talked again, because I thought it was some slimy stuff. Because here it is, I let you stay in my whip, kind of like living it's my house, like an extension of your house. And it's like, I let you stay in my house, and what you end up doing is stealing money out my house. So, ever since then, it was like we had nothing to talk about. It wasn't worth fighting over because, some days will fight you over $10, but... And I've been in it before. Like I've been in 8th grade and got suspended for fighting over money behind a football game from gambling. So any other time when I was younger, I probably would have did that. But this time I was like, it ain't even worth it, because I was like, I'm up, and I'm so up that you felt like you need to steal some money from me, even though I was helping you move around the city. Do this, do that. So, I just chucked it up as a small L, but, I knew better not to mess with him again. Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Randall, for tapping in. A lot of bros got caught with that. I had buddy from NC steal my wallet. And, man, hey, man, folks be grimy like that. Like you say, man, there be your own people that'll snake you like that. But you know what? As I got older, though, I had to stop being a hypocrite, because I'm like, I've done some slimy stuff too. I've done some grimy stuff too, especially the people that I know and work with and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, how you go do something like that and be such a terrible person, and then, like you said, not only steal something from somebody, but also help them find it, knowing that you got it, And I was in a bad space at certain points in time, and it's like, I understand what I did, but I ain't gonna be no hypocrite if somebody does it to me, because it's like, I've been there before, and I've had a situation happen when, I'll tell y'all a situation. I had my Scat Pack. I had that Scat Pack for a whole year, and I never drove it to downtown Birmingham, like ever, because I got 2 Chargers. So I would always drive my other Charger. This night, my little brother was having a birthday dinner downtown, so we go downtown, me and my wife. We drive the Charger and the 4Runner, because my brother going out drinking after the dinner, and I was like, we'll just go out. I'll take the Charger, the Scat Pack. We'll switch up. You drive the Scat Pack back home, and I'll just keep the 4Runner for the night, because my older Charger battery had died when I was trying to help somebody jump their truck. Needless to say, my one time driving that car to Birmingham that night, and it wasn't even dark out when we got there. It probably might have been like 7 and some change. It was still damn near light when we came outside, because it probably was like a little after 8 something. It was still light visible outside. Somebody broke into the back window, snatched the glass in the tent out, tried to steal the car, snatched all my glove boxes open, tried to break through the back window, tried to steal my sound system out, but the way that I got it drilled in, all they could do was just unhook the harnesses. They couldn't really like take anything out unless they had tools. So I know they was in there real fast. But I'm like, dang, bro, like, I had this car all this time, and I never drove it down here for that one reason. And the one time I drive it down there, they get broke into. So I was mad. My wife was mad about, what happened, but I was more so mad about the inconvenience when it came to the insurance company, getting the tow, all that kind of stuff. And I say that because I've done some grimy stuff before in my life. So how dare I be mad at something like that happened to me when I've done it to somebody before? So, like I say, I don't try to be no hypocrite. So when it happened, I was just like, damn, that's messed up. I gotta pay I gotta pay my deductible, and I gotta deal with a tow and waiting outside. It was starting to get cooler out. I'm just like, excuse me. I'm just like, man, that's played. But like I say, all that to say, man, you can't be no hypocrite out here. So when old boy did that to me, I was younger, yeah, but at the same time, I had probably done some ill stuff before then anyway, so I couldn't even really been mad. The way I looked at it, and the way I look at it now, is like, if I'm up and somebody got to do that to me, then that mean that they just a hater, and that's cool because they not doing better than me, because nobody got a hater that's doing better than them. It's just how the game go. Like, haters ain't people that's doing better than you for the most part. Now you do have rich haters, and rich haters is people who up and might be doing better than you, and just kind of like, I don't know, just rich hating, man. Like, you got other stuff to worry about. Why you paying attention to me? Why you watching me? But yeah, that was my story, man. I ain't got more to bore y'all with. I just said I wanted to come back in on live and let y'all know about that story that I had. And I did do a community post a couple days ago about your first pistol, and mine was that Glock 22 Gen. It was a Gen 4 Glock 22 40 Smith & Wesson, and that was probably the worst decision I've ever made in buying a pistol. It's crazy because I ain't even know nothing about guns then, so when I'm moving around with the pistol, I'm carrying it with like training ammo in it. I ain't even know what hollow points was. I ain't even have a holster for it, as a matter of fact. So I was just stuffing it in my pants, and I ain't even put a round in the chamber. I was too afraid. I was too afraid I might shoot myself. So I was like, all right, cool. I got it loaded. If I need to use it, I'll pull it out, rack around back, and then I'll go, do what I gotta do. But nah, looking back, I'm like, man, I was too scared to have a gun anyway. Like, some people think that just because you got it, that you're gonna use it, but it's a different type of mentality that I feel like you gotta have. And I can honestly say that when I had my pistol back then, when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have shot it if I had to. I probably would have been nervous as all get out. But when I look at myself now, how much I pay attention to my surroundings, how much I'm anticipating stuff, especially when I'm in areas where the threat level might be a little bit higher, then it's like, I'm not more so afraid to use it. I'm more so afraid of not having to use it, because I know if I have to, I'm going to. I know that it's gonna come out, and I plan on doing work. Even if that means just subduing somebody for a moment, or just putting them under arrest in a sense, not with cuffs, but under arrest, because I got it draw down on you, and most people, that iron get their mind right, so they'll be still and they'll sit and whatever, because ain't nobody trying to get shot for the most part. Even with a 22, little 25, it really don't matter. A lot of people say that those calibers is, they not nothing, they too light, this and that. And I'm like, man, nobody wants to get hit with nothing. Even if you get hit in a plate carry and your plates with a 22, you still don't want that. You know what I mean? Because you know that you've been hit with something. And you could deal with spalling, and nobody want to deal with spalling either. So, what's up, though? I see a lot of people watching, man. What y'all got popping in here, though? Don't let me talk y'all heads off with my little sad Navy stories. Well, yeah, those are my stories. I really ain't got much more to say about these stories, because they pretty much boring as all get out. I ain't got no real good deployment stories outside of going places that I never thought I would have been, like being in Rome and swinging a little sword in the air with the guy dressed like the gladiator, or being in Portugal sitting on the steps getting drunk, being in the Foot Locker buying up a store, stuff like that, being in the Gucci store buying bucket hats. I got too much. Dubai is dope though, man. Y'all ever get a chance to go to Dubai, definitely go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all that. Go to the Emirates Mall, Mall of Emirates. That was a mean mall. That's the joint, man. You can't even walk through that mall if you tried to in one day. It's so many levels and so many stores in there. You'll get lost in that mall. Honestly, like, people be like, you go get lost in the mall. That's a mall that you really will get lost in. But they got some fire stuff up in there. Cars is dope. When you go outside, it's pretty much like you could take pictures for thumbnails on YouTube all day out there. Gold plated Jeep wagons, Ventadors, Maseratis, I'm trying McLarens, like Porsches, anything you could think of, Bentleys, they all be out there. So like I said, you just go out there and just snap pictures all day. All of the coolest stuff you could think of, they driving it out there. Even got the snow skis. Get on the skis in the mall and, you know, ride the slopes, and they got like a whole little section that's downhill, and you can get on skis and ski down there and all that. Going to Atlantis was dope. They got the water park called Atlantis. So if you ever get online and like Google Atlantis and look at for like Atlantis in Dubai, fire. I'm talking about I ain't no theme park, water park person, but that one right there, that was it. That Atlantis, it really didn't get no better than that. I think that's probably the best experience you can have when it comes to going to any type of water park or something like that. But yeah, man, I'm about, 25 minutes in. I done talked your head off. Like I said, I just wanted to come back and tell y'all that little story about how I almost got arrested in the Navy and how I thought my career was about to be over with. And this live is about to be over with because I ain't got nothing else to talk about now. At this point, I'm headed home, see my little boo-boo, her birthday, go kick it, do it up, figure out if I'm going to end up getting this Casamigos or if I'm going to get the Hennessy VSOP. I ain't sure yet, but I'm leaning on that Casamigos since the homies go be pulling up, and I know he like to drink too, so everybody like tequila. I mean, I think everybody like tequila. Some people say they don't like it. I think if you don't like tequila, you just had some bad tequila one time before. You ain't had the good stuff, because I think tequila, the probably bestest tasting alcohol liquor that you could possibly drink. Honestly, the flavor is just fantastic when you're getting that top shelf stuff, not none of that Jose Cuervo that's gold with the little sparkles and flakes and all that weird stuff. Terramina, that's straight. I seen The Rock, he been promoting that Terramina, but I tried it. Yeah, I don't like it either. So, but anyway, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all be easy on this Saturday. You know, go Buckeyes. I would say go Tide, go Bama, but I really just be rooting for them to lose so that I can see the Alabama fans be all sad and stuff like that. But it's gonna be an LSU game, so it's gonna be a good one today. So I'm definitely anticipating on watching that and getting tore up after or during. I ain't sure. We're finna go pop these burgers out, and hell yeah, it's about to be a good day. So I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. I'm gonna tap in with y'all probably on Monday for some new content. Now, I want to try to get to the range if I can tomorrow to do a review on this optic that I did from Siley Optic. Go look on my community channel. You will see my community page, and you'll see I did like a little review on it or whatever the case may be. It's dope optic, and I put a link down to a 20% off discount code, which I want to say is NavyVet with 2 T's, and I think that, yeah, with 2 T's 88. I think that might be it. But like I said, go to my community page and scroll down, and you will see where I have the discount code. So if you want to go get you one, use the discount code, get you 20% off. It's a pretty good optic. Like I said, I'm gonna go do a review on it hopefully tomorrow if I get a chance to get to the range, if I don't got nothing going on, and then I'll put a video up then. And yeah, and anybody got some suggestions for some better cameras, I need them, because I'm trying to get my visual a little bit better. I'm thinking about getting this new iPhone 16 Pro Max, so I'm wondering if that's gonna really help out with my visuals. I got some for the audio with the little shirt things or whatever, so we go see. Last time I was using the shirt thing, it was too windy that day, so I really couldn't even get no good content because the wind was blowing so dang hard that it was trying to knock over the targets that we had posted up. But yeah, I'm working on it. So any suggestions, man, y'all let me know about the cameras and stuff like that, because I'm really trying to upgrade my audio and my visuals. So that's it. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.